Hello YouTube, this is Siddles and Bits back at it again with another Arcanium run. That's right, we're back. Been playing a lot in the PTR for probably the past month or two, but now we're back because the patch is out. There have been a lot of changes, and I wouldn't even be able to give you a rundown if I could try, because I've been in the PTR so long with stuff past this patch that obviously I can't talk about, but it's very hard for me to know what's actually real because I don't even know if all the bugs we found got fixed. Looking at the Discord, it looks like that's not the case, so I've basically been playing with a completely different version of the game for the past 2 months, and well, for the most part, it should work as a. It should at least work, hopefully, right? Hopefully we don't have to do any bug testing during the video again. Anyways, that's enough of me. Let's get back to it. One of the best things that developer Josh, who's my new best friend, has given me is when you random now, you also get random ultimates. Chef's kiss. It's so good. Anyways, this is a pretty damn good team. Go straight into it. I'll explain the changes to shock as it becomes relevant. Now, have shock, have Shinzo, and we have a lady. I'm really feeling like we could run Scorched Lands, because if we can get a couple of good cards on Misty, she'll be able to go straight into this run, being able to go full force. And with newly buffed Shock, that's going to be incredibly good. For those of you who may not be astute or haven't read the patch notes, or just haven't played the game before, hello, by the way. Anador still gives 7 health, I believe. That may be dated. There have been discussions about that, at least. Uzir now gives 250 gold instead of 150, and Scorched Lands actually gives you the random ability like it did before, but it's always upgraded, which is a huge power spike, which is kind of necessary because Scorched Lands is still well, it's not just as deadly. There have been some nerfs in all biomes, but anyways, I think this is where we go. Lady's going to be doing like no damage here due to the fact that more than half the enemies are going to be red and blue, but she'll be able to focus on the purple enemies just fine, and once we get shocked down, it doesn't matter at that point anyways. Well, this is interesting. Not the power spike that I was looking for. Stone Skin on Misty could be pretty useful because everybody can pretty much protect themselves. Misty can too because she's got the 3 damage shield steal, but otherwise she has to have that in hand, if that makes sense. Even 1 for 6, like this is a great card for us to get turn 1, and if for whatever reason we did use a light skill and now we can get the combo, that's going to be insanely good. Otherwise, Lady having access to Parry Plus is also incredibly good. Helps Shinzo like tank aggro around, gives 10 shield. 1 for 10 is amazing. But the main thing is that Lady can become a very good tank, especially in this patch. I know that on YouTube runs before I've tried to make it work, and it's been okay. In this patch, she's like very good as a solo lane tank. But we have Shinzo for that, and she's not tankier than Shinzo. So it'd be easier for us to just make her deal more damage than Shinzo does, than have Shinzo deal more damage. I hope that made sense. It's easier for her to deal a damage roll and have Shinzo tank than it is for Shinzo to deal damage and her to tank. But yeah, I was hoping for a damage card here. Rocket Jump Plus is incredibly powerful. I'm also debating that. The problem is that it really doesn't help us right now. I guess it technically does. Misty has a decent starting deck. It's not fantastic, and we're going into Scorched Lands, which is potentially very deadly. I think I take the Stone Skin here. Although Rocket Jump basically is better mid to late game, but Stone Skin will save us a lot of life, like now. They also made a change that one of your quests is always going to be in the zone that you start in, which is kind of nice. As far as these, I'm not quite sure I want to go to Ozir. Guess we're going to Ozir, potentially. Although exploring 20 tiles in Ozir, we'd have to pretty much beeline for it. After destroying 20 enemies in Scorched Lands, that's... Maybe we don't even care about this, honestly. Okay. Oh, we have an early elite. I think this team is fine for that. This might get a bit rough, though. You can also just apply one might to all heroes and enemies, and this team will just absolutely clobber with that. But my problem with going there is it's really not going to get us anywhere. We know that this is a fight, so if we go here, want to go here, here, or here, and it's an event, this will lock it out, and we're going to have to fight it anyway. So we're going to spend a lot of time. This is potentially easier than this right now, but it's going to cost us a lot of threat, which adds up quite a lot. The other thing is that assuming that this isn't a fight, this will unlock a card pile. And I believe... Oh, let's put that in there. Due to the nature of the beast, we'll just take out Uppercut. Anyways, our ults. We have Lightning Claws, Earthquake, and Blade Flurry, my apologies. Blade Flurry with Shock on team. If I can get this up to Ulti Plus, which I suppose I could have described that as well, we now upgrade our ultimate at 12 cards instead of 14. But when we get to 14, the cost of Fury for your ultimate is also going to reduce by 1, so this would cost 6 in that sense. And for those of you already thinking about Lady's Pounce Infinite, it got increased up to 6, so it does not... It can still work, but it basically doesn't work. Otherwise, Lightning Claws getting upgraded is 3 shock, which is significant, especially in an area. But this is generally going to be more useful once we get more cards. So these card piles, now that you upgrade at 12, are just... They're a huge power spike in the early game. It costs you a threat, but most of the time when you pick up... These are at least common cards, right? And common cards, regardless of whether or not you're pushing for the Ulti Plus or not, every hero, generally speaking, has one card in their starting deck that's just bad. At the very least, you could take that card out. The one in particular would be Cleaver Strike on Ragnarok. 2 costs for 4 damage 1 week is not enough. It's a really bad card, and the amount of times that it's actually going to benefit you is very low. People might say, okay, well, if you weaken a multi-striking enemy, then you're actually blocking, like, say, up to 5. Yeah, sure. You could also just have had better damage. Like, you can't gamble on the fact that you're going to be multi-strike to look at the value of a card, because the amount of hits that you get hit with on average in this game is like 1.5, maybe 2, because there's not a lot of multi-strike. Anyways, you can use these to replace those bad cards in a hero's deck that may have a bad starting deck, or you can just add them in there for the ulti plus. Some ultimates, generally they'll upgrade by about 50%, and some ultimates upgrading by 50% is very considerable in the early game, especially if they're at a cost where you can get them like every other turn, like a 6 cost. And so there is your huge power spike that you leverage in order to take elites, maybe an early shard battle. And even as far as consistency, very few characters have common cards, assuming that what you draw is commons and not, say, rares, right? Very few characters have common cards that are worse than their starting deck. So even slotting them in there and making it so that you cycle through your deck every, say, 4 turns, you're still on average getting more output because most characters can't spend all their cards anyways. Anyways, that was a long explanation to start. We're going to take this Elite Assault battle. That is very good if we can actually make it through this. And we should be able to. I'm not really scared of Twisted Warlock. The Dispel isn't really a concern, especially if we put him in the lane with Lady. Hex isn't a concern, especially if we put him in the lane with Lady. And then he's going to shield. He's really not going to do much to us. The one I'm mostly concerned about is the Elite Goblin Looter. But if we put Misty over in that lane, she deals predominantly yellow damage, as opposed to Misty's high damage cards are red. So he'll resist that, and it'll take longer to kill him. By swapping them, she's going to take more damage, but she has the better block card, and she also has sustained healing. So I think that is the mogul move, as they say. Now this is interesting. Other people in the Discord said that it was resetting their tokens or their frames to default. And I totally did not actually. I'm so bad. Oh man. I got distracted by the pretty frames. So now we've got to actually use AP to fix this. And that's pretty bad, man. Full damage here. You over here. AP. Go. Full uppercut block. That could have been a lot better, but it wasn't bad. The other thing is, too, is that his ultimate is to multi-strike, which I just said, like, never happens, but just ignore that. Especially here, there actually is a lot of multi-strike. But Shinzo's not going to care, because Shinzo is just going to gain resilience each time. And he also has access to backlash, so it's actually not a bad situation for him. Now, unfortunately, we drew the good block card the turn before, so we're going to have to eat this. So we're just going to race for damage. Debating, this is probably the best move. So, how they change shock is, before what it would do is whenever you would hit an enemy with shock, it would deal that much light damage to the adjacent enemies. Now, it also hits the primary target, which is absolutely disgusting. I wouldn't necessarily call it OP. It's better than Might in almost every way. However, Misty's like lightning kick or whatever it's called. I should really know characters' cards by now. Her lightning kick that is 2 cost deals damage, lays down one shock here, is hampered by the fact that she has to apply the shock. Just like Might, shock gets really out of control when you can apply it with your support's action points or get it completely for free. But they just released a shock support with Celeste, and so she can spend all 5 AP dropping shock on an enemy, and then everybody else just blows it up. And that's it. Honestly makes her very good. But go ahead and finish this fight. Didn't mean to get into like a ramble there. And again, we're not really concerned about the hex being placed on Lady here, because every time that we play a blue card, we essentially block. So, really not a concern. And she's still got stupid damage, so... Actually... I probably actually should have sent that here. I was too busy talking again. Can we deal? Kinda, actually. Okay. Okay. It's okay, I fixed it. Even have an elusive coming in, gold is good. Shinzo did take a beating, as Shinzo often does. Now what can I do about this? I really can't. I have to make do with some money. Not a lot of money. Unless... that won't be enough. But yeah, map 1 elite, not a problem. Most teams honestly can take a map 1 elite. It's just how much health you're going to sustain for it. But getting access to... oh, baby. Oh, these are all good. So, Lost Medallion is basically just your ult on command. Woolen Boots, it's... they did put a limit on all of the... what I would say good. They were healthy shenanigans in my opinion, but a lot of the what was viewed as degenerate gameplay was either completely reworked or they put a limit on it. Like Woolen Boots here gain Fury whenever you change lanes up to 2 times per turn. That's honestly not even like, this is definitely worth a common, to be fair. Like, it's very good, but being able to combo it with a bunch of other like high rarity things in order to create infinites, I don't know, it's fun to pop off. I was also debating Nether Orb, since we're all like decent at blocking, but that's not going to be as much as this. That obviously goes on Lady. And we've got Outplay. Let's go. Alright. The only other thing that I could possibly see is going for Juggernaut Strike here. But, man, Outplayed is just so good. We might sneak by Anador. The fact that Juggernaut Strike retains is its main draw for me here. God, I'm gonna We're gonna really regret not taking out play, but we take this. And I actually respect Juggernaut Strike more than Sacred Bulwark. In most cases, it's more damage and more block. I'm afraid that I may have to heal here. I would really rather not. We'll see what actually happens. Now, we have no void cards. 1 week to all enemies at the start of the turn for free is pretty good. Dispel all enemies at the start of each turn. I have to try and remember exactly how enemies are balanced now. I don't think this is as good as it was in the previous patch. Because, well, we're not in Ozir. In Ozir, this is very strong. Yeah, no, I think we honestly just take the Withering. Taking less damage in general is always good. Makes it easier for us to block. That's good damage. Huh. Take Tome of Infinity here. We don't really have much way to burn people. We did just get a burn flask, but it's only going to be for like a couple of turns. Is that actually good enough? Actually, it might be good enough. Because if we take Infernal Lash, we place, what is it? I should know this. It's 5 burn, right? Probably 3 or 4. 4. So for 4 turns, assuming that the enemy does not have access to cleanse, which in this area is not so much, for 4 turns, we can gain 2 shield per hit. We put this on Lady, she's going to be very self-sufficient. Or we can always just swap it around as need be. But 4 turns is generally the time in which you want to kill an elite. So, this actually isn't that bad. And it's probably going to save more life than this is going to heal. As much as I would really like to take Tome of Infinity, because Shinzo's theoretically going to take a lot of damage. But I think we take this. See, if we're trying to go damage on Lady, we're going to take lots of red cards. And so she's not going to be playing blue cards. And this says that for 4 turns, she's basically also Blue Lady. The move might be to do this on Shinzo, though. You can always switch it back. Sure that is equipped. Do we have something that we absolutely want to upgrade? Not really. Like, that would be great, but upgrading a shield Juggernaut Strike isn't exactly my idea of how we're going to bump ourselves up here. We're going to take this card pile, and we're going to take it on Misty. I know I said Lady before, but times have changed. Okay. Understood, game. So, now we'll have Lightning Claws Plus. It doesn't show. 3 shock in an area. You know what? I honestly think that this goes here. I usually like to up tier relics at an oracle, but we don't necessarily even need to. We don't have any cards that we're holding on to that we're like, okay, just go ahead and upgrade this. We actually want Juggernaut Strike. All of these, like, I'm not going to use it to upgrade Uppercut into to a common card. That's a waste of this oracle. This would be if we had like a blue or a purple that we didn't necessarily want, or if we earned some sort of artifact that was like meh, then we'd want to use that at an oracle. I honestly think we go ahead, we take this defense elite. With the way that we've set ourselves up, we should honestly be relatively tanky. We have people in the right lanes this time. I just said that we were tanky, man, and then you went ahead and did that? Come on, dude. This is how I'm feeling about this. I'm gonna take 2 damage. Gonna lay the smack down. She also gained a Fury because of the lane swap, so we're actually a turn ahead. We could finagle this to actually give her... You know what? Yeah, we'll do that. Let's hold up. It's annoying, but let's do it. There. So we got our max 2. Lady will most likely have dash, so we'll go back. Misty will be here, be able to do her AoE shock, and then we'll just be able to deal a lot of freaking damage. We didn't have to use our burn yet, so we'll be able to keep that for later. And despite the fact that we were weakened, it will not matter because of the fact that we are going to have really, because of this guy? Alright. If we attack here, that's an extra 9 damage. Damage over here. Lady's going to be doing lady things over here. Get that block. We're going to just miss you. Oh, it's the Hex who's doing all the damage. That's my bad. She will be fine, though. Don't you guys worry about it. Okay. Go ahead, use this. One-shot you. This do? No, it actually won't. Just kidding. So we are probably going to have to use that camp after this. But otherwise, it was pretty much a flawless fight. I just was stupid yet again. It happens often. I don't think that we can... We're gonna have to eat that, I think. I would get 2 chi. Would technically block. Spellweaver's Gloves, a little dangerous. And I don't think that we have the correct card for it either. It gets very good with shrines. Or cards that provide ramp, like providing power. Or DOTs. Or cards that draw. This actually, with Rocket Jump, this would have been pretty ridiculous. For no reason. We wouldn't have been able to do anything with it yet, but it would get degenerate at least. Tome of Infinity, and we're going to take those spot heals now, and Misty needs them most. This is actually usable. We can get rid of one of her lightning legs for this. But destroy all shields, taunt backlash, I don't really respect. This is straight up better than his Seismic Strike, but go ahead and help Misty deal more damage. Now, this card pile is interesting too. After doing 2 elites, I think we can afford the threat. And at this point, we want Lady to be red. We are going to have to get Shinzo cards. But he's legitimately doing fine now. Okay, now we got this weird... This is still good. Multi-strike 1, right? And... Wait, they buffed it to multi-strike 1? Hold up. I'm gonna have to check my spreadsheet from before. No way that was multi-strike 1 before. Riposte was not multi-strike 1. They gave this card a buff? The hell? I mean, obviously we're taking it because... just what we do. Guard would, like, they totally want us to be a blue lady here. I'm distraught. But before, this didn't have multi-strike, so long as the enemy that you were hitting was targeting you, so you were being attacked, this would deal 5 times 2. Which is like 2.5 Flash strikes. And then, of course, considering it does cost twice as much, but it's doing double the damage. It retains, so you're going to use it when you're being attacked. It's just incredible. And now it has multi-strike 1, so now it's going to be 3 times 5. Oh my god. So we take this. I'm also debating on guard just to give her a block card. I'm not necessarily sure that we're even going to dash a lot. This is honestly probably going to replace a dash, but it's still block for 8 whenever it's available. Oh, sorry, block for 10 because of the blue card. We're gonna hit this event. Honestly, the artifact. Ooh! That's damage. Now, if you haven't watched it a lot, everybody who has watched me play this game, I always go crazy. You're not going to have fun with this game playing a safe game, in my opinion, which is why I do all random alts. And I do weird stuff. What I'm considering now is taking this Time-Worn Staff, which, by the way, is very good damage. That's not why I'm thinking about doing this. Going up to the Oracle, up-tiering it into a purple. Because the purples in this area, is it in Province Details? Oh, let's go. You're looking at stuff like Vampiric Scepter, Twin Flintlocks, Stormcast Pendant. If we get Obsidian Ring, that would be pretty shit. Deal critical damage to targets by Hex. Ironically, we would want the item that we're ditching. All minions on the board gain +1/+1 at the start of each turn. We don't care about either. Gain 1 power but draw 1 less card is actually pretty good. So pretty much we have 1, 2, 3 bad hits. Gain stealth whenever you trigger combo could be useful, actually. Elemental, when you use 3 or more AP, likely not going to have... Okay, so there's actually quite a bit of bad hits here. But there is a lot of good hits. Execute on enemies would really change our game plan here. Obsidian Shiv, very good. Deadly Repeater. These, they're just good. And if we do get a bad hit, then we just up tier for... Just up tier for a legendary. Because quite a bit of these are pretty good too. 1 toughness at the start of each turn pretty much solves Shinzo tanking things. So the safe route would actually be for us to not go wild and just sit still. But I want to hit the Oracle. It is crazy. We have that campfire still. I think we need to use it to heal. Because otherwise, the only way we're getting to this capital is through another elite battle. And we haven't leveled up, so I don't necessarily want to go through this shard battle. But we may want to go over to Anador. Thinking we actually want to go into Uzir. If we could get to the capital, we could use that to upgrade a card and heal. We have money burning a hole in our pocket. We haven't found any shops. I think what we do is we heal. We take this Breach Elite battle. Because what we're going to do is we are going to choose to heal damage for now. The wisest choice that we can do. We also did not... Do I honestly just want to add counterattack? I'm not sure, we'll do it. We'll ulti plus her, especially now that we have that on hit effect. We're going to heal, take this Breach Elite. Specifically, we're going to heal Misty, because everybody else is doing relatively fine. Maybe what we honestly do is we take... See, this is the problem. If we go here, we'll be at threat 8, threat 9. We'll hit this at threat 10. I believe the developers told me that this actually up tiers at 10, not 11, but it doesn't really feel that way. So I suppose what we're looking at now is we actually do want to fight this shard battle. So the only bad shard battle here would be the Gargoyle. The Gargoyle would probably scuff us hard. Otherwise, we got the block to take on the Goblin. I'm not worried about him. We just need a good old-fashioned fight here. I'm not even scared of this fight. Good. A lot of Hex here, though. That was weird, that didn't play a sound. Yeah, with our setup here, we're just gonna do ludicrous damage. It's gonna be an easy fight. Kinda to be expected. We're actually gonna start burning you now. Because you're gonna ult next turn, and I'd prefer that not to happen if possible. Okay. Unfortunate. But whatever. We're actually gonna do this. Gonna suck. Oh, actually, we probably could have done that because we put the Tome of Infinity. I shouldn't have swapped them there. You'll learn. Hopefully. I actually don't want to do that. Here. Get out of here. Block. Now Shinzo has free real estate on the entire... Oh, come on, man. Okay, never mind. This is what I'm thinking we're gonna do. You're dead. Swap. Haunt. I mean, honestly, you're just dead. Hold up. Because multi-strike 1 would still just be one freaking hit. Okay, they didn't buff it, they just made it so that it could probably show how much damage it's actually dealing. What we're gonna do. Okay, never mind. Still a good card. Axe throw. Oh my good lord. Mantra Serenity would solve Misty's like block problems. The problem is that it'll cost her 3/2 if upgraded just to get it out there. And that's not necessarily something that we're excited to do. Admittedly though, we could upgrade this into one of her legendaries. Does she have good legendaries? Oh no, it would be a green legendary, which doesn't necessarily mean that it's actually good. There's some good green legendaries, but I still like that idea better than an axe throw, I'll tell you that. We'll roll with it. Who needs energy? Misty still has those crappy 2-cost cards. Lady also has a bunch of 2-cost cards now too. I actually think if anybody needs 2 energy, it needs to be Shinzo. So that if he gets 2 Sacred Bulwarks, you can use them. Yeah. Because otherwise, everybody else is outputting like... Misty doesn't quite get there, but she can. 20 a turn, which is pretty good. I almost want this event, but no, we gotta take this shard battle. Oof. We need to... This is what we're gonna do. Edit deck. You do not need this. Shinzo needs this. And with our setup, we should be perfectly fine here. This enemy is going to multi-strike us a lot. It's going to suck. I don't think that we want Soul Stealer, though. And especially for a loot cache at threat 9. Yeah, no, that's not worth it. It's just going to be a normal one, and it's going to give us, like, a card. Enemies do be coming out swinging, though. Gonna just kind of face race these guys. Gonna be a little rough. But I have confidence in our abilities to succeed. That's actually rough. This is especially rough. Okay, we honestly should be fine now. Not gonna make a difference. Throw them over here. Yeah, we're fine. We're gonna have access to heals. Does this work correctly? Now's not the time to be testing it. The game gets very confused on what exactly is a dash or a teleport, as opposed to swap lanes. So I wonder if this would double, but we don't need to do it, we just need to win, right? So we'll do it. Actually, we could have tested that. Oh! Oh, baby. These are all very good. Oh my god. I have to decide exactly how I want to play this. Shinzo's spot healing is always a good idea. It means that we can take the Tome of Infinity, put it on anybody else, and then they can start spot healing. Ancestral Sash, like, Misty already spot heals, but at that point we know for certain that we're going to spot heal for 2. And we're always going to be up at max. We have a card already, which is 2 cards actually, that scale off of how much chi we currently have. Dashing Strike gives us an extra. This allows us to go past our cap. But Chi Burst is now a 9/1, or a 1 cost 9, which is insane. That's a legendary card, pretty much. Mantra of Serenity becomes somewhat good because we gain 2 for free. And so we're basically like a discount Leon at that point. Upgrades down to 2. So long as we're installing this, which does take investment. So I'm not still entirely good on that, but our aftershock becomes a 1-3 shock. Sorry, a 1-3, which is insane. Absolutely insane. We get rid of our thunder kicks, we don't even need them anymore. Get one more good shock card, we can drop down to 9 cards, and she's going to be just cruising. And then, of course, like I said before, whenever you can get Might for free, air quotes free, it's incredibly good. So that's why we were considering Outplay before. Duelist Rapier just lets us scale incredibly hard. And since we have the multi-strike ult on Lady, it allows us to pay out in blue damage very well. Man, I wish I could take all 3 of these. However, I think the best move would be to make Misty better. Oath of Protection seems pretty good. Power Surge, just no. I'm sorry, no. It is a 1-for-3 ratio, 1-for-6 ratio because it's upgraded. So this is honestly maybe pickable, but we just don't generate enough shock to pretty much right now, since we have 3 AP. We would have to use her ultimate to generate 3 shock, and then this is going to generate 6 AoE when we use it on top of the frontline damage, right? 6 shock times 2. It is a lot of damage, but that's literally the only time this is playable because it costs too much. And again, the only reason why I'm even looking at it is because it's upgraded, so it's a 1-for-6. Otherwise, this would be 1-for-4, which is acceptable. Like, that's how much a melee card should do. Actually, a melee card is supposed to be... a melee card is supposed to be dealing 6 damage for 1 AP. That's actually a good point. This is pretty bad. Oh, man. Oath of Protection, though. Just being able to block for our allies. Like, this is bread and butter Shinzo right here. Okay. Essence Crash is incredibly good. I really wish that I could take that. Maybe we do take that, but the thing is that the multi-strike here isn't even necessarily like I want to get shield on Misty. The multi-strike is damage because we have a good source of shock now, and this is retained, so it's going to be up when we need it. Like I said before, I don't necessarily need Shinzo to deal damage. I need Shinzo to be Shinzo, which is arguably one of the best tanks in the game. Everybody else can deal the damage, so I think we take pressure points. And the fact that it does also block is greatly appreciated. We just spent all that time buffing up Misty, and we have to take this defense elite battle. We might as well do that before the difficulty ups. There's, of course, this whole fucking town is going to be surrounded, ain't it? Well, looking at the time, this is going to be our last fight. Get to it. Our lanes are correct. Don't worry, I'll forget that when I start recording the next set of this. It's honestly a pretty shitty starting hand. Go with this. Oh, we could have taken the Tomoc Shinzo and put it on somebody else. I'm most likely going to forget in the other videos of this run too to keep swapping that around. But it's very helpful for that. You're able to spot heal whoever actually needs it. And honestly, we probably should have taunted him over here. Did some backlash. It's just a little bit of damage. But since he's going to spot heal for any damage that he takes anyways. Gotta stack that. That Hex is gonna end up being a lot of damage. It's gonna enable her to kill 1, maybe 2 turns faster. Probably 1 now that we're in the next difficulty, but we appreciate that. Okay. Ooh. Could have taken 2 less damage there. Entirely my bad. Oh, hello. Bad thing about Juggernaut Strike is that it's not going to be as effective here, but again, we're not really worried about Shinzo. Regular damage. In fact, we can do this. We'll retain that. It's fine by me. We're going to waste an AP, but better to use this when we actually need it. This is interesting. Do that for next turn. Okay, here's what I'm thinking. I don't actually need to get shock on this guy, because focusing this guy will kill that guy. It looks dangerous. We're fine. We're fine, alright? We might as well... that. Block everybody a smidgen. Swap over to here. Swap. I believe I want to pause. And it doesn't matter if I swap, so I might as well actually just attack. In fact, I should have reordered that. Wouldn't have made a difference, but it would have been a little bit more damage. Pretty good. Oh, it was a defense. Son of a bit. I was hoping to get money. I wanted the money. Oh. Okay. Have a Hex on hit on Lady, who hits multiple times, so Spectral Cutlass is pretty good. Shaman Gauge would also have been very good. That's unfortunate. Thing is, though, is that we actually don't trigger a lot of combos. Combo is only really found on neutral cards. Spine Black would have been okay, except, again, we don't have a lot of combos, but even just... like a... don't sleep on the 3-3, alright? Especially because it promotes. The reason why we don't take this is because we don't have a lot of combo effects. We only have the 1 Stone Skin on Misty. Otherwise, these would raise huge in value. So obviously we take Spectral Cutlass because Lady's already set up for it. So, haste is very good. Supply haste too. Here we go. So, I think we actually take Lava Potion. It's very weird, but oh man. We definitely don't take Unbreakable Will. I like maybe, but no. Yeah, I just don't. We don't have a lot of low-cost cards to actually be able to use Accelerate for haste. Haste would still enable us to cycle through our deck, but we don't even have like a refined deck at this point. So this would be like a prospective pick. Whereas this already works into what Lady's doing. She has Infernal Lash. We have a Fire Potion, so we can utilize that as well. Just going to be good for us. Going to be a card that we can get rid of for that. I just know it. Lady could use some of that. She's got a lot of 2-cost cards that are bogging her down right now. I don't think that we need Lunge. It's probably, in this setup, it's one of our worst cards. Actually, On Guard. On Guard is our worst card. We need to get her a Retain block. She has them. They just haven't blessed us yet. Okay, I know I said that was our last fight. We're going to just take this one real quick, and then we're going to mop up as many of these events as they'll let us. I want to know... Okay, we do have access to the town. So we're going to do all of our towning after this. And I still didn't swap the Tomas Shinzo and onto the Lady. Oh, come on, man. Why are you so bad? Add Infernal Lash. Let's go. Not really going to commentary to this one. Just going to pretty much go at it. Maiwa mo Shinderu. Nani? Weaken me, please. I really want to get those Thunder Kicks out of Misty's deck. Maybe if we get one more shot card, then we can go down to 9 cards, and that'll feel a lot better. But like I keep saying, like I always leave out one hero whenever I'm drafting stuff. Shinzo does need some cards. Real fierce right now. Yep. Your award. Does this upgrade to 3? It does. That's a good upgrade. Otherwise, Crush, it's kind of hard for us to get... He has the AP. But again, we're not really hoping for him to deal damage, necessarily. Ward is going to power up his Protect the Weak. It's going to enable him to taunt a little bit better. I think that this is the move here. I'm sure that next video we'll find out that I was completely wrong. Lady can't even hold this. Really should, though. Okay. Vent? 200 gold for a legendary? Or up tier an artifact? We won all of our artifacts, and I am willing to spend 200 for not that. Meat wrap. Alright. Well, we can always re-roll it. Free week is marginally good. Spike Club is ridiculous. Broadsword is ridiculous. 6 shield at the start of each turn if your starting deck has 14 cards. Oh my lord. Shinzo might be able to get away with this, honestly. So inconsistent, though. I mean, he kind of already is. Looking at Spike Club or Broadsword, though. Spike Club technically is... Broadsword's technically more damage. And we don't even have to even worry about her, about Lady being a, air quotes, about being Lady. Not having to worry about the order in which we're having to spend our cards, like red cards before multi-strikes. Because we can just, like, use Repulse when it's available and just blow everything up. But, theoretically speaking, we want to get a little bit of taunts that Repulsed can deal even more damage. So I think we go Spike Club. But another thing is that we don't even really have... We don't have room. Unless, of course, we took all this stuff and put it over on Misty. That might be the play. Actually, that could really be the play. Make a very good single target. Yeah, I think that's how we do this right now. I almost want to hit up this Oracle, but I really shouldn't. I also think... Actually, we could up tier on guard. We're not necessarily going to use it. That may be the play, actually. A purple-blue. And ladies' purples, too. I think I know because I was in the PTR so long. I forgot that you can upgrade stuff here. I still don't think that we do, though. Like, Repulse would be pretty good. Marginally okay. Nothing here really gets spectacular. Like, Oath of Protection is going to do what it does regardless if we upgrade it. Some of you guys are going to notice that it says up to 28 when you upgrade it. There is a limit in effect here too. It just, they forgot to put it there. So, that's not really all too exciting to me. The Spirit Ward upgrade is pretty exciting, but I'm willing to buy that at the shop. I'm not going to necessarily use an Oracle to upgrade that specifically. Otherwise, pressure points already upgraded. Even if I did this, it would just be +1 shock. Not worth it for us. 1 extra chi, that could be worth it. We just don't have anything that's a spectacular upgrade. Everything that we do is already upgraded. So we definitely transmute an ability. Want to do guard? There we go. Now that's something. Dual wield Shinzo would actually be quite crazy. Heroic Leap is a way for Shinzo to actually deal some damage. If he would have taken your first strike crits with Heroic Leap. Lady's not blue though, so it'd be hard for us to actually get this to pop off. This is the only card that can combo multiple times. Then we could theoretically have a free 24 with crit for 48 damage whenever this is in Shinzo's hand. I'd love to do it, but we're just not really set up for that. And on Lady, it doesn't really matter because if she's using blue cards, she's not really getting might. That's not necessarily, like, we would need to be a blue Lady for this to be good. But, obviously, being able to build a little bit more might would help as well. I think dual wield is the play. Hypo could be pretty good too, but I legitimately think that this is the play. Because Hypo would just be a card that we keep on Shinzo and wait for his turn to roll around. If he's safe one turn, he gets to blow somebody up for like 27, 30 plus damage. It's really like the rate would be good, but to spend his turn just doing that because it costs 3 energy, it's dual wield. And I would also love to upgrade that. In fact, let's hit here. Okay, we can. We're going to be doing a lot of towning, I guess. It's going to be like... Oh man, this thing's going to be like 70 minutes. I would actually like to not restore health on Lady, but we really should, just in case we get a bad turn. We don't want her getting bopped. Take that. I'm going to hold back on upgrading a card. I'm going to hit up this trainer. It's all terrible? I mean, I guess if you're going to give it to me for free, I'll take Crush. On guard, maybe, because it is still a block. God damn. Really don't see that fitting in our deck, though. Especially if we're debating dual wield. Nah, she can't do dual wield. We don't have enough blue cards. We replace a Flashe Strike with On Guard, but no. Put in get Shinzo a card. No, this block card is more our speed. Misty having access to a cleanse in the shop is very good. We can use Arcane Consultation for sure. If I was to buy a card here, it'd probably be Deep Calm Artuche. Pretty bad shop, honestly. I don't remember if that cost me threat, but it certainly wasn't worth it. Showing us everything. Want to upgrade one chosen card. That chosen card should be dual wield now. It was going to be Spirit Ward, but did we get rid of that? We didn't, did we? Interesting. Thief's Pouch is very powerful. It's between Thief's Pouch and Berserker's Helm. The thing is giving yourself vulnerable, and vulnerable can't be cleansed. It's really rough. Having access to power is, especially when we have power has double effect, it's essentially a crit whenever we have it, and we'll have it all the time, so double damage. If we were crazy, which I just might be, I'm might grab Berserker's helmet and put it on Shinzo. I know we said that we didn't want him dealing damage. But he could. Otherwise, since he's our middle lane, bosses like to shield a lot. Thief's Pouch is ridiculous. Enables him to, again, just tank better. And if he has Ward Up at the time, 18 shield for free. Not bad. We see Berserker's Helm again, we may take it, but I think we take Thief's Pouch here. On the other hand, Black Blood Vial. Shaman Gauge would actually be pretty good on him too. Because chances are when we use Dual Wield, we're going to draw into taunts, and having toughness in order to utilize that could be very powerful. This is a very good shop. I think we're pretty much going to aspire to this shop here. And I think that means that we don't upgrade a second card. Fear Reward can wait, right? Black Blood Vial is good because besides the fact that he has 2 shield steal abilities, which we may even get rid of, now that we would have good access to shielding anyways, 2 weak doesn't really matter to us. Another thing that we could do is put Dreadful Executioner on Shinzo, because while he's not going to deal a lot of damage, and it's not necessarily going to air quote save AP, because we're not going to be able to, say, deal 20 damage with Misty, and then also bring someone below 25% for the execute, he can still just pretty much taunt somebody, because he has a ranged attack, taunt them just to execute them. And that's always going to be worth it, because it's going to save us a lot of damage. If we get rich, we buy this whole shop. I'm just saying. Oh my lord. Anyways, that is all for today. If you appreciate the fact that Arcanium is back, go ahead and say so down in the comments below. Otherwise, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, any misplay alerts, go ahead and throw those down in the comments below. I try to respond to every comment that gets down there. Anyways, we'll continue this run tomorrow. And until next time, I'll catch you guys around.